almost took herself out, dude, for real. That's the second time I've almost ended my existence through stretching, because when I dislocated my neck as a child, it was through stretching. I'm gonna have to have someone like spotting me when I'm stretching at this point. Because this keeps happening, and that's bad. That's bad, that needs to stop happening. I'm cursed, I tell you, I'm cursed. Cherry, thank you for the 1 year of being a YouTube cherub brat. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed your year. I hope you had a good time at Weebcon. We have so much fun stuff planned. I'm happy to be finally feeling good enough to more or less get back to the grind. You had old lady bone since you were a child. I know. Cursed. I guess that's what it means when you're when you're an angel borrowing a human skin suit. I should have checked the goods a bit better. I actually left my ear cleaning supplies in my drawer, so I'm gonna mute real quick so you don't hear all the loud sounds opening. Okay, I've got my stuff out. We're ready now. Oh, is this inside out? Of course it is. Of course it is. We all do share a brain cell. Speaking of that, it's my turn with the brain cell. Well, good luck with it. I haven't had much use for it the last few days. I did, because I was feeling a little bit better today. There you go. I did spend my morning working on some stuff and preparing for the Subathon lunch on Friday. I think tomorrow we're gonna do I'm gonna have to put a post about it tonight, but I think tomorrow we're gonna redo the showing of the concert, because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, if I'm gonna be doing the Subathon on Friday, tomorrow's my only chance to do a re-show of the concert. And there was a thing I have to fix on the concert file, so I'm gonna fix that tonight, I think. And then tomorrow you guys will be able to rewatch the concert. And then Friday we start the Subathon. No buddies, thank you for the 7 months. I'm happy I figured out how to get my YouTube to work so I can become a member. Thank you. Here's the 7 months. At the start of this month, I did post this month's member-only wallpaper, so do make sure to go grab that, okay? To go grab that. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. I know. Now, prison for Ducky, not for you. Remember, we're tormenting Ducky this time around. It's Ducky's turn to learn. Gosh, I hate being sick. I've never been, like, some people are kind of okay when they get a little sick, but not me. I'm always like, the world's ending, I'm dying. It doesn't help when I pinch a muscle in my neck and feel like I actually am dying for a second, but you get my point. Going around right now is mean. It's a mean sickness going around right now. But it's okay. It's all gonna be okay. Just gotta get past it. I will, I'm excited to get the Subathon started. I've got a few goals I still have to line out. I'm gonna make the goals a little harder to get this time. And there are still a few goals that we have to fulfill that I'll be doing at the start of the Subathon launch because, I wasn't exactly planning to go into a spring Subathon, but here we are. You guys are so lucky I brought on a manager. I've spent the morning before having, before my second wave of exhaustion and my headache episode, I spent the morning actually on a call with her going through a bunch of stuff and planning a bunch of things for you guys. So hopefully, I'll be surprised to see how long you can make it last this time, given that I'm going to make it a lot harder than usual. I've also decided that there will be a ASMR stream on YouTube throughout the Subathon as well, during the off days. So I have the schedule's not fully done, but I've made a base schedule, and we're going to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with sleep screens for the Subathon on Twitch. And that gives me Monday to work on some side projects, and on Monday nights and Wednesday nights, maybe even both, we'll do some ASMR streams over here, maybe even some chatting streams or some analysis stuff. And that also gives me some editing time and some time to sleep so I don't completely end it, because, oh gosh, I have so much to rest to still get. GVP Gameplays, thank you so much for becoming a chair rat. Thank you. Make sure to get your rewards in the channel membership area. Should analyze Yakuza 0. I have to play it first. Please don't burn yourself out over the Subathon. That's exactly why we're doing it this way. I think Subathons can be very fun, but it's very easy to overdo them. I've done a lot of them before, and when I first started doing them, I didn't really understand the value of, personal time, as well as making sure I don't kill my PC, which is why the Subathon's only 4 days out of the week, and it's all 4 days straight, and I will be taking sleep screens. So bad news for those of you trying to keep the timer up. You guys get sleep screens right out the gate. But that way, I have 3 whole days that, if you guys know about my part-time job, I still want to do that. So that gives me 3 days that I can do that. I can do all my editing, I can still work on my videos, and I still have a day where my entire existence is being in my bed. As long as I have time to do the other things, then I'll have fun. It'll be fine. It's when I don't give myself time for a lot of the back-end stuff that I start to really lose it. I kind of came to a realization about myself as a creator pretty recently when I was helping teach some friends of mine some things, and when we did the concert at Weebcon, I kind of came to the realization that I really like the behind-the-scenes stuff. I know that's ironic, given that I'm on screen so often, and I do love being on screen, but I guess just like how I realized when I was a theater kid that I actually kind of liked stage crew more, there's something about putting in the hours and racking my head at Premiere Pro and a drawing program and screaming into the void for God knows how many days to put together something, and then that moment where I show it to all of you, right? That moment where everything that I have worked on comes to fruition. I love that moment so much, and when stuff is live, it feels more intimate and fun, but it doesn't give me the same mental boost, I guess, that something that I spent hours behind the scenes on working, when that comes out, that always makes me way happier. The concert was amazing. It wasn't perfect. It had problems. There was a big editing problem that I don't even know if many people caught, that I gotta fix before you guys do the re-show tomorrow. But there was something so rewarding about seeing the audience's faces, seeing you guys dancing, seeing Goopy and Kitsu doing their wotage, right? And like when I ran into some friends after the concert, the fellow streamer friends that were at the event, they actually didn't go to, because there was a really big thing happening during the same time slot as our concert, and I found out that they had been like hiding and watching the concert with you guys. I don't even know if you guys knew they were there. And they gave me the biggest hug when it was over, and like they were so happy and it meant so much to them. And oh my gosh, seeing like Rama and Rama and Echo and Norma and Shuggy and everyone talk about like how unreal it was to know that they got to be a part of this, to see their community's reactions to it. Like, it was so fulfilling, right? It was such a reminder of like, yeah, this is why we do this, right? It's not just about making a good video here and there. It's not just about what am I streaming today. It's these moments where you make a memory that's like immortalized in the minds of so many. And I feel like I've been riding that high ever since Weebcon. And being chained to my bed, even with a fever, has not stopped me from planning out some really cool new ideas, and I just want to do them. So I'm excited for the Subathon in that sense, because these events that I love doing are not cheap. So I can tell you right now that one of the big rewards is going to be another 3D concert. But I've already upgraded my mocap setup, so I'm hoping for once. I'm actually really hopeful that we hit that, but I'm going to have to put the goal kind of high, because we did that last concert on $500 and no sleep. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again, man. That was so hard. That was... Oh, I thought I found my limit before. I found a farther limit to what I can physically handle, and I would really like to not go down that vein quite again. If you haven't seen the concert, I'll be playing it again tomorrow. And I think tomorrow's showing I'm going to do on YouTube, and I'm going to have it unmonetized, so hopefully it doesn't get blocked in any locations, and ideally it will stay up, so that way everyone can rewatch it. So, It sounds like you were supposed to be in a band in a past life. I don't know how much I told you guys about when I used to work stage crew. So, your angel here was a theater kid, right? Multiple years of theater, and I loved acting. And then I started doing script writing, because we had a few productions where all the different like people in the club would write like shorts, right? And then we'd perform them, and I always really got into that. I won 2 awards through the scripts and performances that I got to do for those, right? And those ones are fun because we weren't really supposed to perform in our pieces, so I would write the script, I would source who would perform it, and then we would like put it on in a big show where everyone would go side by side, and then we would get like accolades at the end of the year, and I got a few awards for that. I really liked doing that. So I discovered I liked directing through that, right? And then I wanted to go even harder, so I joined stage crew, and when I got into stage crew, it was, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I wanted to do everything. It was the same way I am with this field, right? Where I needed to get my greedy little paws on everything. So I started with scenic painting, which is where like you paint all the backdrops. And it was really fun, but I don't think my hands were quite steady enough for that. Ethan, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You're not late. I can totally do water sounds when I'm done yapping my head off. And from scenic painting, I then moved into doing just like stagehand work, right? Where during the show we'd break things on and off. So I stopped auditioning for a few shows, and instead I did that, wear all black and strike the sets, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. But then I got greedier and I wanted to do more, so I learned how to do lightboard. Lights was really fun. One of my favorite shows I got to work. It was a dancing, like a dance concert. I forget what it was called. It was a competition of some type. There was a bunch of different like schools and colleges, and each of their teams were performing 2 to 3 songs. But I wasn't informed what any of the songs would be, and we didn't have pre-recorded lights because there was a lot of tech problems that happened prior, and I was brought in last minute. So I had to improvise all the lights for the entire competition. So my friends were on Spotlight, and we were all on like comms, like panicking, trying to figure out how to how to give each performance the best chance they had. Because lights are such a big part of the show, it's a big visual, and we didn't even know what songs were being played because they brought in their own sound guy that wouldn't sit in the booth with us, so we had to like, it was so bad, but we did it, and that was definitely a memory. Lights was fun. I liked lights. Chaotic as crap, but I liked lights. I essentially ended up doing everything outside of soundboard because I couldn't get my head around soundboard, which is really ironic given that now I do ASMR on YouTube. And do you know what piece of tech I have to work with every day now as a YouTuber? Take a wild guess. A mixing board. It all comes full circle, doesn't it? The one thing I avoided is the one thing I'm stuck working with daily now. It is a much smaller mixing board than the ones we had to use for Stage Crew, though. To be fair, those things were huge. This thing has like 6 dials. That's about it. But I loved it. Oh, I fell in love with Stage Crew because it was so rewarding, like giving the actors on the stage an opportunity to not just do their best, but help bring out their best. That I just fell in love with that, and I feel like I'm finding that passion again in this field. It was recording day. It was mocap day 1, and I was wired, right? We were going down the list of who had to do what, and who was going to be in the suit, and who was going to do cams, and I was breaking it all down, and then like we were working, I think it was like 11 hours in, and I was still wired. I was still just really in it, and I was like, man, I haven't felt like this since Stage Crew. I haven't felt this like level of just like intense glee since Stage Crew, which was concerning because I was on no sleep that whole week, so that really says a lot about my personality. But it was such a cool moment, and then like when the concert happened and everything finally came full circle, it was like genuine magic for me. So I want to say thank you to everyone here because you guys gave me that opportunity, and it has lit a fire in my heart and a fire under my ass to do so many more crazy things. So the Subathon this time around is very much going to be geared towards big scale, crazy, fun events, because I think that's something I just really want to do. Events that are centered around me and my friends, and events that maybe I'll just host and try to see who all I can get involved, right? Who knows what we can do? The sky's the limit now, and I'm really excited. I'm really, really, really excited. Let's go ahead and do those water sounds before I completely lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing tonight. Ever seen Moulin Rouge? I saw a local theater do Moulin Rouge, so not a well-known performance, but I have seen the play. It's been a long time though. I want to do more theater stuff again, like just going, you know? Theater's so wacky and whimsical. I think, so there was, when I used to live in Long Beach, there was a Tora? I think Tora's gonna scream at my door for a few minutes, but she can't come in. My office is a disaster, and I haven't been able to clean it because of being sick. There was a really small local theater I used to frequent a lot, that I liked a lot. And I'll never forget, my favorite performance of them actually was a silly one. Are you guys familiar with Avenue Q? It's like Muppets, but for adults. You know, the internet is for porn song comes from that. There's a lot of meme songs that people still actively quote from Avenue Q. Well, they did a performance of it once, and I was so excited. I was so excited. Because no one ever performs Avenue Q, okay? People don't perform that. To be fair, some of it has not aged the best, but it's a really fun show. And going to see that live was, well, that was definitely a time. That was one of my favorite night outs. I swear, I want to see other theaters perform that one, because like there's just not enough places that'll do it, because it's like both puppeteering and live acting, and it is rather raunchy. So you're looking at only specific groups that are willing to perform the show. But I've only ever gotten to see it live once, and this is one of those shows that I know would change so dramatically depending on like the director and actor. So I want to see it again, hopefully with a different group. Tora, oh, baby girl, you can't come in here. My office is an absolute disaster. Oh gosh, my stomach. Oh, no worries, Mysterio. Thank you for letting me know you changed your name. I am getting better every day. I'm really upset that I got sick though, because I knew I wasn't going to come back to stream until the Subathon, which is wild. I never take this long off. But I had a lot of things I wanted to do. I wanted to make our next my brain is, I'm sorry, I'm still kind of feverish, so my brain is cooking very slowly. I wanted to do another video essay. I wanted to finish the ASMR video that's been like almost done and just sitting in my Premiere Pro for like a month. I wanted to prep some extra stuff that was going to go out during the subathon and kind of like get ahead of the game. Also, Moe Brew, the tea stuff. I've been needing to focus on that, and because no, because of being sick, I haven't been able to work on it at all, and now I only have today and tomorrow to smack my head against my PC when my brain allows. So we made some good advancement on the tea stuff. I think tomorrow, before and after the re-show of the concert, will be when I... Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Silly kitty. She can't come. You don't understand. Like, she tore her little chomp on things and hurt her tummy, and she already vommed once today. I can't let her in here where there's so much mess that, like, she could eat something and I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know, and then she would get sick, and I can't risk that because I love her and I don't want her to get sick. She's eaten. She's eaten. That's how she threw up the first time, is she ate too fast. I can't let that happen. I gotta keep it safe for her. She doesn't understand. But I have to do the right thing for my kitten. She has to stay out in the hallway. How old is she? Oh my goodness. How old is she? I think she's like 10 now. No, she's probably 9. 8 or 9. The last few years have been so nice and peaceful. They've been going by kind of fast. It's kind of hard to actually narrow down. Well, you have to take care of yourself. Go eat. Go eat. Go feed yourself. Oh, I had bearded dragons growing up. Bearded dragons are lovely little animals. I like lizards. I also had 2 water dragons that I took care of for a short amount of time, but they weren't in my life for very long, unfortunately. Oh, of course, Kuru. I'm sorry that I've been so talkative today. I can't really whisper. I was trying earlier, but it was making my throat tickle too much. I think I'd rather be a little bit louder than normal and not risk coughing in your ears. But I hope that it's still cozy despite that. Good luck on your final. Good luck on your final. Just take a deep breath. Stay focused, okay? Well, Toby, getting violent with your coworkers is something I completely understand, but do not recommend. So go ahead and do some heartbeat. How's that? Can you hear that nice and loud? Thank you for the membership renewal, by the way. Okay. Oh, my head. I moved a little too fast. Got a little dizzy. I'm still kind of struggling from the whole neck pinch headache migraine thing. I'm not like in severe pain anymore, but I definitely feel like if I move too quickly, everything gets very spinny. And I whipped around when I went to set up the heartbeat. Like an idiot. Oh my gosh, I loved. Oh, okay, seeing the Cherub Rats in full uniform at the concert, right? You guys had your merch, you had your perfectly normal Halloween shirt, or Hawaiian shirts, but then seeing you guys have the headbands, and the fans, I was, oh my goodness, I'm an old school anime and idol fan, and that's some old school, like, celebrating your idol, like, uniform behavior. Like, you guys really fan clubbed it out, and it was bad because I was in my hotel room putting on my makeup for the IRL meet and greet when I was sent footage of all of you all live, and I was crying like a little baby, and I had to redo my makeup like 3 times because every time I would finish doing my eyeliner, I would like see more footage of you guys cheering, and I would get emotional again, and then it'd mess it up again, and it was a really bad cycle. We're very lucky I didn't show up to the meet and greet looking like Shiori Novella with like mascara going down my cheeks, because that is definitely how I looked for a few points. Tora! Girl. Baby girl. No. But was it? I don't know if it was Turing's surprise. I think Turing was just there. Right? At least. I could be wrong. I actually don't know who the person who brought all of the actual fans were. I know that Ducky had a mysterious bag at one point in the day, to the point that, like, we were worried. We had a bit of a bomb scare because they received a duffel bag and a letter with no one saw who dropped it off. My guess is one of the mods was in on it, because it just showed up in Ducky's hands, and Ducky sent me a photo and was like, do you know what this is? And I was like, I don't know what this is. I was left in the dark about everything Weebcon related. I also think it was hilarious that there were people who joined the audience from like other communities, right? Like Mons from Dai's community and whatnot. And then there's also there were some people that joined the audience and just thought the concert was cool and had no idea what was going on. And they stayed for the meet and greet, and you handed them bricks, and you had them sign the bricks. And I thought it was so cute. It was also funny as heck having to explain to them why they were handed bricks at a concert to give to a random person. That was a fun moment to have to try to explain. Yeah. That was I have the bricks all in the brick bag still, and I don't really know what to do with it, but I have realized what I'm gonna do with the chickens from the prior Weebcon. So just in case anyone's unsure what I'm talking about, every year at Weebcon, the community members that come to see me IRL, they bring something and all of them sign it and hand it to me at my signing, which I think is really sentimental and cute. However, year one, their decision was to get 1 million chickens. This year was plushie bricks, so I can throw them without killing someone. The first thing I did was throw in a kitsu. That was the first action I made. Yeah, it was a good action. We can use these bricks in videos for sure. But I was trying to figure out what to do with the chickens, because I have an entire bag full of signed chickens, and I finally realized I'm gonna get one of those vacuum seal bags, and I'm gonna vacuum seal all of them, so that way they like crunch down and it looks like the life is taken out of them. It'll be like that, I think it's a Van Gogh painting, the Scream. It might not be Van Gogh, but they're gonna look like that, and then I'm gonna put them in a picture frame and I'm gonna hang it on my wall, and they will be eternally suffering on my wall. And you know, maybe I'll put the bricks around them like they're inside of a brick wall, you know? Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Did you find out who bought the Standee this year? No. Okay, so, extra lore. So at Weebcon last year, my Standee got stolen, and it was a big thing. And we kind of like hunted down the guy, and the guy ended up buying it, but like the cops got involved, and like we were looking at like security footage, and they contacted me through Twitter, and we had this email trend. It was actually very funny by the end of it, but it was quite the story, which I will go over someday soon in more proper detail. But I was doing my digital meet and greet on Friday, and a small group of guys came up and they were like, "Hey, you might know us," and then showed me their phone, and it was the guys. It was the guys that took my Standee the prior year. They came back, and it was really funny, and I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh my god, it's been a whole year and you're back." And all Weebcon, they were making threats on the Twitter account that they made that she might get yoinked again. So it's Sunday, and my Standee still hasn't sold, and I'm like holding my breath, really hoping it sells, because I've been very lucky that every event I've gone to, even the one where it got stolen, they did come back and actually pay for it, right? I have sold every Standee I've ever had at a convention, which I am very, very honored and thankful that this is a thing. It is a consistent reminder that so many of you care so much and go out of your way to get some really cool stuff, and each one of those Standees are one of a kind. So the fact that every single one has sold is like, that's crazy. Okay, I know creators that are way bigger than me that have not sold every single Standee they've ever made. So I'm very honored. So I was like, oh, is this gonna be the con where it doesn't sell? Because the starting price for the Standee this time was $200, and I'm like, oofka, it's a little higher than the normal start price. And I had signed it too, and I found out later that they were like upcharging people because I signed it, and I was like, that wasn't why I signed it. And I was like, you guys can just sell it at the same price. I just signed it because why not, right? Like, I've been doing signings, so I might as well, right? And it was Sunday. It was the last day of the con, and I was standing at the booth. I wasn't masked. I just looked like a regular girl, and I watched this person come up, hug my Standee, pick it up, start to walk, and I locked eyes, and I like made the like thumb to the throat, I like, you're dead thing, and they just politely put it back down and walked away. And I was like, haha, I've protected it. But then I realized, wait, what if no one buys it now because some random lady is threatening people that walk near it? So as far as I knew, it hadn't sold because that was Sunday. I was literally going to pick up the rest of my prints and leave at that point. And then I'm at dinner later, and I open my Twitter, and I see 2 different accounts posting photos of my Standee walking around the venue. And I'm like, well, at this point, I still have no idea if it's sold, but that's my Standee in the Oshi Lounge, which is 3 floors up, I think. I actually never walked in the Oshi Lounge myself, so it's either 2 floors. It might be 2 or 3. And I'm like, that's weird. That's not the venue that my Standee is supposed to be in. Why is it there? And then another photo later of it, like at the front of the the main area, and I'm like, oh cool, she's grown legs and is now walking on her own. This is fantastic. I did later get a payment from Oshi Works for its selling, and I promptly went, who bought it? And the guy went, oh, I have no idea who bought it, so I have no idea. I don't know who owns her. I hope whoever bought her is happy. I hope to see more random images of her showing up places, but I have no idea. I don't know who bought her, and I don't know if I ruined like the one guy's chance of buying it when I like scared them away. But yeah, so no, it did sell. I just have no idea to who. No idea to who. Yeah. If you guys didn't know that, when you guys buy the Standees, if it's auctioned and it goes high in price, then your Oshi makes a lot of money off the Standee. If you direct buy it, then usually it's a cut price between the price of it being made, and then your Oshi gets the rest of the profit. So I did get some dinner money off that Standee being sold, which is very nice. I hope they didn't leave her in the Grand Canyon like the other one. I did get confirmation that yes, that was the Grand Canyon. I was correct. 2, they did not leave her there. They actually have been taking my Standee on adventures all year. It just wasn't being put onto the Twitter page. But that they showed me some photos on Friday when they came to my meet and greet, which was really hard to see because connection to the venue was terrible, but they showed photos on their phone, and there was more photos of the Standee going places, and I was like, oh my god, she wasn't left in the Grand Canyon. Like, I thought she was left in the Grand Canyon. This is great. I'm confused. What's an Oshi? Okay, so Oshi is a Japanese idol term that we use here in the VTuber world as well. When someone is your Oshi, that means that this is a creator that you wholeheartedly support, right? This is someone that you would proudly wear merch of in a public venue and would be like, this is someone that I proudly am part of, like, their fan club. Now, people get a little up in arms about, like, if you can only have one Oshi and whatnot. At this point in time, it's kind of just collectively agreed that you can have multiple Oshis. It just has to be someone that you are very happy and open to support, and really just, you're really in their corner. There is a term called Kami Oshi, which would be like God Oshi, right? This is your number one. You can only have one Kami Oshi. This is the person that, like, you basically have part of your identity based on, right? You're like, this person is my life. I eat and breathe this person, which sounds very morbid when said that way, but you get my point. That's the general, like, everyone kind of agrees at this point that that's more or less the system. But occasionally you'll come across people that will use Kami Oshi, like, for everyone, and they just mean it as, like, oh, I really like you, and I think that's totally fine, but it might get confusing. And then there are people that think you can only have one Oshi, so don't let people tell you how to run your Oshi-dom. Like, do it your way. But yeah, so the Oshi elitists, the Oshi lists. Wait, I'm allowed to eat my Oshi? I mean, if they serve food, I guess. Get yourself some angel cookies, like angel food cake. You can literally buy me at the grocery store. I actually really love angel food cake, unironically. I do really love angel food cake. And I am already getting comments about how it took me not even an hour to be back at cannibalism. That's cool. Oh, crap, that's genius. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Wow, thank you, Skull. It's very sweet. Thank you. Sorry, my tummy is in knots. Does a human eating an angel count as cannibalism, though? That's a very good question. That's a very, very, very good question. I don't think you can self-Oshi. Actually, that's a very good... I don't know, man. I feel like you could. I feel like you could. I find it a little questionable, but like, pop off if you have that level of self-love, right? But I do know that there's also a lot of cases where creators who have multiple past lives will refer to like a corp identity of theirs as their Oshi, as a way to kind of like hint hint wink wink, hint hint wink wink, that's me but I can't say it, hint hint wink wink. So I think like in those kind of cases it's actually kind of normal to self-Oshi, but it's in a weird indirect way. You know what I mean? That'd be like saying that my alt account is my Oshi. It's not. Calliope Mori is my Oshi. Yeah. No, I could never self-Oshi myself. Same Annie, too self-hatey. Maybe not self-hatey. I don't think I self-hate. I'm too critical. Too critical of myself. I'm definitely too critical of myself. I see problems every day that need some fixing. Tell the chicken wings story, please. You know, the sad thing is that could be a few different stories, but I know what story it's making me think of. I know what story that this is making me think of that I will retell later for clip purposes, but I will tell here. So it was, I want to say off-Kai. It was either off-Kai or a prior Weebcon like 2 years ago, and there was a bunch of me and my streamer friends in my hotel room, and we were having a little party, and everyone was hungry, and Shuggy and Goopy were there, and oh, there we go. Thank you, Iggy. That's right, Iggy, you were there too. It was Weebcon 2 years ago, and we were all really hungry, and Shuggy goes, "I'm gonna order wings for everyone." And I'm like, oh, heck yeah, we love wings. I don't know how she did it, but she ordered like 200 wings from Chili's. 200. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but this thing was huge. It was huge. Everyone ate wings till they were like exploding, right? Like, I don't think I've ever feasted so much on wings. And I don't like wasting food. So as everyone starts to like filter out of the hotel room, I still have like 120 fucking wings left. And we have a tiny hotel fridge and some red Solo cups, and that's it. So I start like Tetrising, they're all bone in, by the way, so they don't like squash as well. I start Tetrising the bone in wings into the red Solo cups, and by the end of it I have like 20 or 30 cups of red Solo cups, and I stuffed the fridge completely full, but I couldn't fit all of them. And so I had to like start sharing the wings, and this was on day one, by the way. This was day one of the convention, so every day I was going to say, "Anyone want wings?" and I would just start handing red Solo cups of various wings. To make it better, we didn't have a microwave, so like we would all convene in the hotel room randomly during the con and just eat cold wing. The smell, guys, the smell. I cannot begin to tell you the smell of that fucking hotel room. Because so night one we get all those wings. Night two, me, Dai, and then Shuggy and Goopy really like in the mood for crab, and they DoorDash in a crab boil. They DoorDash in a crab boil, so like it's already still reeking the smell of fucking chicken down the fucking hallway, and now we have this crab boil in a bag, and there's nothing to eat it on. So do you know what they do? They just open the bag and sit on the floor and eat the crab boil off of like the plastic bag that it came in. And okay, crab boil is one of the smelliest fucking things you could have picked. So now the room is a mixture of a million wings and crab boil. It was so terrible. It was so terrible. To this day, every time I'm at a convention and someone says wings, I immediately go, not in my room, not in my room. And every con, because I do almost every convention with Shuggy. Shuggy is like my con buddy. Every convention, she goes, hey, do we want to order some wings? And every time I'm like, no, I love wings. I do. Wings are some of my favorite food. And I'm like, I can't, not in my hotel room. Like, we have to be in someone else's hotel room. We can eat in the hallway. We can eat on the balcony. I will eat in the hotel lobby or on the sidewalk outside. It does not go in my hotel room, because if I have to sit an entire convention through a wing-reeking hotel room one more time, I'm gonna absolutely lose it. Like, so yeah, don't order 200 wings to your Weebcon hotel room. Also, if you follow the smell of wings, you will find my crew at a convention. That's one other way you can find me. First we said slowpoke echolocation. No. Just use that sniffer and follow the smell of wings. It will lead you to my room. With me probably sadly in the hallway going, not again. Yeah. 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 Anyway, that's the wings story. If you get sponsored to eat wings, would you do it? Oh, I still love wings. I just, not in a hotel room. In a house, you can throw the stuff out properly outside, but see, hotel rooms have really tiny trash cans. Oh, Toby, you see, the extra wings, I was going around and handing to everyone. It wasn't even just the mods. I was literally, like, in the hotel lobby handing off wings to creators, like I was the fairy wing mother. It's literally what was going on. Half of them probably thought I was handing out drugs, but, I mean, they still took the wings, so, not really my problem. They're just going to be sorely disappointed when they realize it's just wings. There's no drugs in those wings, it's just wings. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, funny story. Yippee. Yippee. Yeah, I would have thought that shit was laced. I mean, it's in a red Solo cup. So there's a masked lady by the door handing out wings in a red Solo cup. Little sus looking, but you'd be surprised how many people did still take them. Yeah, a lot of people still took them, which is a little weird. They were also ice cold, so a little weird. But hey, at least they didn't go to waste, right? It must have been a very hungry Weebcon that year. To be fair, by Sunday, I think everyone was nursing a really big hangover, and everyone just kind of went for it. Yeah. Where do you go to get your wings at? It varies. It varies. I used to be really into Buffalo Wild Wings. Wingstop calls me back occasionally because that curry wing that they have, that's really good. But then I go back to not liking them. It's a back and forth problem. The garlic parm always makes me sad, so that's where I lose it. What kind of flavor were they? It was 4 flavors. It was barbecue, it was garlic parm, buffalo, mango hop, I think was the 4th one. Mango habanero. Pretty sure. Any messy food need actual garbage can? Yeah. I remember hearing this from PK, or it might have been Iggy, either that night or the next morning. I remember trying not to laugh. I mean, yeah, it's such a circumstance. The thing is, though, is there's no way she ordered 200 wings. I think we somehow got, like, double by mistake. Genuinely, because there's no way. 200? Bone-in wings are expensive, man. We didn't have the money for 200. Sounds like 4 wings that had some of the strongest smells. I mean, look. That is typically the best ones have the strongest smell. How's everyone this evening? I actually made it to a live stream. I'm sorry, I've been yapping too much. I've missed you all so much. I haven't been able to talk. I also didn't have a voice for 2.5 days, so I'm supposed to be doing ASMR, but I'm just talking. I'm so sorry. We'll have to do another ASMR stream to make up for it. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Speaking of Weebcon antics, one of the most iconic ones was dunking Maze's transformer in milk. Yeah. Yeah, that happened this year too. Except they fooled him with an AI image and it was never actually dunked in milk, but he freaked out. Kitsu's in charge of next mod dinner. Kitsu, you hear that? You're in charge of next mod dinner. So, a lot of my mods come to Weebcon as well, and every year we hold a mod dinner where we all get together. Also, many of the mods stay together at PK's place, right? So, Maze, one of our mods, is really into Transformers, and he always has a few with him, and so kind of fuck with him, kind of poke at him a bit. So, not this year, but like the year prior, the mods are all, no, 2 years prior, this was the same year as the Wings, because Iggy was there. Some of the mods are back at PK's, and some of the mods are on site. And I don't remember where I was. I wasn't present at the time, but I remember being texted about this. And they were, oh, Maze was with me, that's right, Maze was with me, and the mods were talking in the group chat about putting his transformer in a jar of milk, and Iggy was at like a goth mommy bar. Iggy was literally with like dream goth mommy bar, and Iggy gets on the thing, goes, "I'm leaving the goth girls," and Iggy leaves the goth bar just to go dunk it in milk. And it was legendary. We all stood and applauded. We all stood and applauded. That was some dedication. That was some serious dedication. R.I.P. his transformer, but that was some dedication. The bar was called The Church, and it was in Irving. Interesting. Good to know. Yeah, I'm gonna need the address. I'll look to the message right above you. Look to the message right above you. Weebcon every year is in Dallas, Texas. So if you come to Weebcon next year, you know where to go. I will be at Weebcon next year. Mods are already planning how next year will go. We make Weebcon like that is like the community, the like mod and everyone, like that's our time. That's our time. So if you happen to be joining for that next year, the church in Irving. It's not like a 40-minute drive. You left the goth bar and did a 40+ minute drive? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Wait a minute. I just clocked the drive distance on that one. That was the night we gave the chickens. Yes, it was the night you guys gave me the chickens. Yeah. Yeah. Oop. Which transformer was it? I don't remember. Maze could tell you. Potentially Iggy could tell you. Dear, thank you for the 48 months. 4 years, 4 years. Thank you, thank you. I think it was an Optimus Prime. He has like 80 Optimus Primes, so it was probably an Optimus Prime, but that's just me guessing based on how many of them are Optimus Prime. Ooh, Steve, thank you for the $5 super. So I recently discovered a subgenre of death metal called banjo slam. It's basically just low animalistic gutturals and banjos. That sounds like an experience that I will go and experience myself later. I will not go to Weebcon to save my head from a plush attack. That's what he says. But it'll be first in line again this year. Oh my god. Okay. So, another story time. Weebcon this year, I was an absolute menace. So my last meet and greet was not hosted through the group I was normally with. It was hosted through Oshi Lounge and staffed by Oshi Bar. And I know some of the Oshi Bar staff a little bit. And so the guy that is like handling my meet and greet, I know him to some degree. We've talked before. And so he knows that I can be a little, I can get up to a little trouble. And so the way that they're doing the meet and greets on Sunday is my handler is managing the line, and my handler has earbuds in, and they're cued in to be able to hear everything that's happening at the meet and greet in case someone comes up to me and starts being problematic, right? So they're like security. But you see, what this also meant is when my fans took off the headphones, that meant the only person that could hear what I was saying was my handler. And I clocked this as an opportunity to be an absolute menace before it even, like, really started. And so you know how, like, sometimes I have really intrusive thoughts on stream? Like, what if a chicken had triple D's on the front and back and rolled around like Sonic the Hedgehog? It was one of those moments. So he starts to manage the line, and I just start immediately talking about the most unhinged shit I could possibly think of. Like, I was testing the fucking limits while keeping my face as normal and neutral as possible, because the line was looking at my model, but they couldn't hear anything I was saying. They just saw my mouth moving, and he had to act normal and manage the line, because he would get in trouble if he starts yelling at me, because he's being paid to be there. He's on the clock. I was not. So I just kept going off. And then when he was, like, managing the line, when I saw him walk near certain people I knew from prior meet and greets, I would tell him to, like, slap him or, like, do things, and he'd, like, stop and be like, shut up. And then the people in the line would look at him like he was crazy. And this continued through the whole meet and greet. I would, every single time when someone came up to do the meet and greet, I would lock in and be totally normal. I'd have a great time talking to you, and the second you took the headphone off to take the photo, I would just immediately continue. It got to the point he started asking people to keep the headphones on, but he couldn't say why. He couldn't say why. Because it would mean that saying that I was over here tormenting him, as well as what I was saying. And at one point, his earbuds died. And I was saying some heinous shit, man. It was bad. His earbuds died. So it started going through the speaker. And the way I watched him run on his heels and panic, because his bosses were right behind there. And I was thinking about, I think I was actively talking about, like, if corn cobs could, like, ejaculate, what would they ejaculate? Would it be like mayonnaise or like corn soup? I think that was actively what I was saying at the time that it died. And suddenly my voice was on open mic in the venue. I'm pretty sure that's what I was actively saying. There was a lot of crazy shit I was saying just to fuck with him, but I think that's the one I was on when it was so funny. Oh, it was so funny. He wanted me dead. I had a fantastic meet and greet. Hi Tora, I know I'm talking louder, so you want to come in. It was very, very, very funny, and there was one point where I said something so effed up that I started, like, laughing hysterically, and my handler just looked, like, super dejected, and I was laughing hysterically as a cherub rat put on the headphones. And I, like, mid-laugh, insta-locked in and went, like, from barely laughter to, hi, how are you? And I watched my handler, like, fall over behind the line because it was such a perfect, like, lock-in. Because he was ready to, like, finally be able to prove that I was being a gremlin, but I locked in so perfectly that he couldn't. He just seemed insane. Oh, it was great. It was such a good Sunday. I don't know if I'm being invited back, but I think it was worth every second of it. Sounds like Tani took over on that one. It's such a me-coded thing to do. It's such a me-coded thing to do. I got to have a fantastic time hanging out with the cherub rats while equally inflicting severe mental damage onto the person running my booth. Is there anything more me than that? Genuinely. For those of you that know me, you know this is so extremely on brand, but the fact that his earbuds died and it went on the loudspeaker, I still is like, that's something I could have never, like, coordinated. God tier. Mwah. Chef's kiss to that one. Man. Oh, it's so good. That was our cat. No, it's my cat. My cat really likes my door. when I'm doing ASMR streams, she really wants to get in. You did at minimum 7d12 psychic damage to that man. Yep, and I did it for an hour straight. Tora, no baby girl. No baby girl. Oh, Martin, thank you so much for the renewal. It's been long. I haven't been here for a while. It's good to be back. Well, welcome back. I hope everything's been okay. I've said some crazy things too, some of which people didn't believe me on, but now they do it because it was proven true. But yeah, I have intrusive thoughts all the time. I think a lot of us have intrusive thoughts. Sometimes it's like funny, hee hoo hoo hoo. Sometimes it's like really serious stuff. And the problem with intrusive thoughts is like, it's kind of to some degree out of our control, and sometimes those intrusive thoughts are really like bad and volatile. Normally we don't inflict that pain on others, but sometimes I choose, when it's really bad, to inflict it on everyone around me. I was driving Shuggy back because we both live in Texas but in different states, or not states, but cities. So we were mini road tripping to drive her home right before I got sick. And I think we were talking about like our preferred types of like monster people, right? Like because people have like the "are you a monster" fucker talk a lot, and I'm not really, but I'm like, man, I have a weakness for vampires. She's talking about hers. And because we were talking like on this topic, my brain at random goes, do you think vampires need vitamin D since they don't go in the sun? Like, is that something they have to buy? And then out of nowhere, I loudly exclaim, oh my god, this is why CVS is 24 hours. It never made sense to me, but now it does. Where else do they get their vitamins? It's 24 hours for the vampires. And this went into a 30-minute tirade of me going through everything that made more sense if I looked at it from the filter of vampires need to shop at night, which had her in stitches, but it also was incredibly insane. Incredibly insane. What I should have realized is this was probably the fever setting in, because I got sick the very next day. Very, very next day. Yeah, but what if they're only, like, drinking introverts? Humans have vitamin D deficiencies all the time now. They're gonna have to offset it somehow. But yeah, no, it was funny. It's funny. So, let the intrusive thoughts that are, like, silly, inflict those on everyone around you at every given moment. Don't hold those in. That's a weapon. Inflict them. Inflict them. Like Tora screaming at my door. Be like that. Yes. I mean, if you have an advertisement inviting people to your store, doesn't that automatically mean that vampires can walk in and out because there's an advertisement with the invitation present? Yeah. If I inflicted my intrusive thoughts on you, you would ban me. Well, you do have the mod hammer / shield, so you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, but I don't. I don't have to hold myself to any standard. I can hold myself to whatever type of twisted standard I choose. Mwahahaha. Mwahahaha. The come in where open sign is probably good enough. Yeah, if they have an open sign, doesn't that make it safe? Yeah, I mean, that's what an open sign is for. Yeah. When I was younger, when I was little Angle, I used to get teased and called a vampire a lot, actually, because my eyes would always, like, because they're very light, right? I have very light eyes. When you take a photo, they would pick up the flash, and so it looked like they'd be, like, glowing red back because of the fact that they're lighter. But I also have, which I found out very recently, that there was a medical reason behind this one. I can't be out in the sun without, like, sneezing. Like, if I'm out in bright light, like, I'm sneezing and, like, having trouble. Because the things in the back of my eyes are super thin. So the light bleed just goes right through my eyeballs, and it messes with the rest of, like, my brain and my sinus system. So if I'm in really bright light, I'm, like, allergic. So I used to get teased a lot for this when I was younger. But at least now I finally understand why. I just have really crappy eyeballs. Just have really, really, really crappy eyeballs. Yeah. Oh, you know, I have another story time that I don't think I've told you guys. So, this one is for the chicken lovers of the chat. When I was in high school, I somehow picked up the reputation of being a chicken slayer. Which, I love animals, and I do love chickens. I would never hurt an animal in my life. But, at some point, a rumor had started spreading that I was, like, sacrificing chickens to demons in my backyard. And I don't even know where it started, but I remember I went to a friend's house, and her parents barred me from entering the house because of that. And it was really crazy that the person I found out this from was her parents. Apparently the PTA had had a meeting about what to do about me, and in reality I was just playing video games. But I spent 3 years, everyone thinking that I, like, held seances and sacrificed chickens in my backyard. So it's really ironic that now, as an adult, all of you guys keep calling me a chicken. It's really crazy how life comes full circle. I don't even know where they got that from either, because I love animals. I was mean, and I used to dress very, like, you know, more like dark and goth when I was in high school, but I never would hurt an animal. An idiot, maybe. Hurting another person, potential if they really pissed me off. But, like, yeah, no, the PTA had gotten involved, and I post that, I had been sat down with my counselor and the vice principal, where they basically were, like, cornering me to try to get me to admit that it was true. And I'm like, wouldn't you just call the police? If you thought I was doing animal cruelty, wouldn't you just call the police? And to be fair, my specific district had been being plagued with some weird animal cruelty cases, so I'm guessing that they were just, what's the word, freaked out and jumping the gun. Tora, can you not? There was a guy that never got caught that had been harming people's animals in the neighborhood, so I'm guessing they were just really, really wired because of that. But you'd think they'd contact the police and just, like, say something at that point if they really thought that. Yeah, hyper-vigilant. Which I do respect, but also there was literally nothing to prove that, like, where was I even getting the chickens? We lived in a suburb. We lived in a suburb. Where was I getting chickens? This was California. I lived near LA. Where was I going to find chickens in LA? I was in high school. I didn't even have a car. What the heck? Like, it just didn't make sense. But, yeah. Yeah. High school was a time. I think I heard someone trying to get Tora's attention. That's probably Papa Steps. I told him I even closed his door, and I was like, I'm going to be using the special mic, so I need things to be quiet. And his room is the closest to my office, so he's probably hearing Tora go bad shit, and he's like, stop, shh, come here, stop. She's working, stop. Yeah. High school was a crazy time. If it wasn't for theater, I wouldn't have liked it, but theater made it a little bit better. Tora. Don't worry, Tora. I'm gonna go collapse on the couch somewhat soon. There's only a couple things you can find in LA, all of which are almost illegal or straight up illegal. Look, I grew up, in a tiny city that was, oh my gosh, Tora. was in the valley next to LA, right? So if you went more towards like Burbank area, there's this big canyon area, like the Tujunga Valley area. I'm blanking on what the whole mountain range was called all of a sudden, but it's basically like the LA forest, right? It's really big, and I grew up right at the mouth of that, so I was kind of disconnected from society for a lot. But there was also a lot of crazy things that occurred in that tiny area. So, okay, i.e., I wasn't alive for this one, but because it was built on the side of a mountain, we got a lot of storms that would happen through, and you see, they weren't smart when they built this city, because they thought, we're going to put the graveyard at the top, and then we're going to have the rest of the city down below it. So you can imagine what happened when we had a flash flood. Yeah, so the flash flood took out the entire graveyard and sent the corpses through the entire city. Tora, please. Baby girl. Papa Steps was one of the volunteers to go get all the corpses out of everyone's yards, but like, people were walking to school. Oh, look, there's a corpse. Yippee. Yeah, it was certainly a circumstance. Oh, I'm forgetting the name. There was a well-known cult leader, who was kind of like on the border of like a well-known serial killer, but he's known more for being like a cult leader, and his cult grounds were very close to where I grew up, so much so that Papa Steps took me when I was really young, because you could actually still go and access them. They were technically blocked off, but like, if you knew the paths, you could get to them. So that's kind of cool. There's no one there anymore, it's just abandoned, but anyway, weird city for sure. So if I still lived there, you know, the chicken thing would have made more sense. But you see, I had moved away from there. I now lived in the center of Main City. The closest thing I had to nature was a park that was the size of half a block and had 2 trees. I had no chicken access. Still makes no sense. Make it make sense. Why did your dad take you there? Because I was curious. And also, we liked to go hiking, but like abandoning paths. There was also a bunch of like old abandoned mines in there. He didn't let me go into the mines and whatnot, because when he was young, because he grew up there, they would like crawl through a bunch of the abandoned mines, and like, it was literally like, you have to crawl on your stomach kind of stuff. And he was like, you're not allowed to do that because you will die. And I was like, yeah, that's probably true. California has a unique way of churning out cult leaders. Right. These stories will haunt me later. No, this is supposed to be a cozy stream, but I'm just having too much fun talking. I'm also very feverish and my brain is very cooked, so I'm having trouble focusing, and I am very sorry for that. I'm going to have to change the name of this stream to Feverish Waifu Cannot Remember How to Do ASMR and Instead Torments You with Story Time. Yeah, that's going to end up the name of the stream in post, because that is what it's been. But, yeah. I did, so I learned how to drive when I lived there, which was fun, because the mountains were it was a 2-lane, one-way each, right? But they were built on the side of the mountain with no rails. To this day, a large portion of the specific area I grew up in does not have rails on the side of the roads. And what did everyone do? Oh, we street raced in those mountains. We're talking blind corners, and there was a lot of car accidents. But anyway, so we were going through the mountains, and I was very young, and Papa Steps took his hands off the wheel and was like, okay, well, you're gonna learn how to steer the car through these mountains. And so I learned that, and then from there it was learning how to actually drive. through this, I discovered that my family used to be street racers. So they had a bunch of cool stores, and they'd show me a bunch of cool places. I was not allowed to street race the mountains. I wasn't allowed to, because too many people went missing that way. But I want to. I still want to. But I got pretty close to having my mountain street racing moment. When I was coming back from Big Bear, I had been needing to fix my brakes. I really needed to fix my brakes. And we were about to go down the mountain, and the drive up into Big Bear that I took, because there's two ways in. This one is like a curvy mountain path, right, on the external side. And we start to go down the mountain, and guess whose brakes decide to go out right then and there? It's like midnight. It is a very foggy day. I can barely see in front of me, and my brakes have just gone, and I have to get down this mountain, and we can't stop. So I can tell you right now, I had a lot of fun on those turns. My mother thought we were going to die, because my mother was with me that day. She was in the passenger seat, and she was holding the oh shit handle the entire time as I was just spinning the vehicle like a psycho. But we made it through, needless to say. I promptly got my brakes fixed after that. Yeah. I do not have a car that would allow me to street race, but I want to, because all the people who taught me how to drive were coincidentally in this vein. So my family came from street racers, and then after, like, I learned a bit through them, but I didn't get my license at that point. I didn't get my license till way later. So once it's time to get my license, my friend is like, hey, let's go driving a bit just to get you up to speed, right? And well, he was also a street racer, so that landed, and I got to drive a really fun car for that one. But doing donuts does not teach you much about what you need to do for driving. So then I get sat with a actual teacher, and I'm like, okay, I'm finally gonna have a normal driving experience. Normal experience. It was not a normal experience. This man, this old, like 85-year-old man, wanted me to be speed fucking racer if I did not, like, go 10 over the speed limit at all times, and or if I wasn't, like, basically cutting other people off, he would physically slap my thigh, like not like sexually, but like aggressively, like I could get basically beat if I didn't go fast enough. And then once it was the end of our lesson, so at this point I have become the most aggressive driver you could have ever thought, because I basically had to. He was like, okay, cool, well, it's time for your classes. Like, time to take the test. Good thing for you, I used to work at that DMV and I know the exact test route. So he illegally taught me the exact test route. And I just memorized it instead of bothering. And sure enough, I went to the specific one. He said, and it was time for my test. And I'm really glad that he did teach me it backwards, doing the wrong thing. Because I'm nervous as heck, because I now know at this point that I'm going to drive really aggressively, and I don't know if they're going to clear me for that, right? Like, I'm a new driver, that's probably not going to be the best look. And as we're literally trying to leave the DMV parking lot, I watch a guy pull out of his parking spot and crash into the other parked vehicle and then speed away. And I look at my instructor, and she just looks completely done with life. Like she's already checked out for the day. She's like, this really, a hit and run, really, at the start? That's okay. And so she was pissed off and tired, and I'm so glad I knew the route and everything perfectly, because I have a feeling she would have failed me for the smallest error, but I knew everything, thankfully. So, thumbs up. That angry old man saved me. So, yeah, yippee, yippee. I, unfortunately, do not believe in spending excess money, so I do not have a fancy car. But I have a silly SUV. But one of my friends has a very fancy car, and one of my favorite joys in life is constantly beating him to locations. It's my favorite thing to do. Every time that we're both going somewhere, I make a point to always get there before him. And he's always really mad at me because he has a race car and I have a fucking RAV4, and I keep winning, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Yeah, It's great. It's great. I don't need a fancy car. Yippee. Speed racer. Got my license during a blizzard where you couldn't see the road and I ended up drifting during a turn, but the instructor didn't even notice because I was smooth with it. Good job. Good job. Good, good, good. Look, as long as it's not like, you know, dangerous, a little drifting's fine, right? Just a little drifting's fine. I would love, I was really happy with the race queen theme just because I do have a bit of a history with this kind of stuff, and I was like, ooh, this kind of runs home. So I'm excited for whenever that merch and stuff launches. The sidewalk is wide enough. Yippee! I got my license for going 10 under the speed limit. You got your license, like you passed your test doing that, or you got your license revoked? I feel like that sentence is missing something. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I probably need to take more meds. I can tell my brain is like turning into straight mush. What can you do though? That's just the way of it sometimes. Oh, you passed. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure. So, let's go over how this week is gonna go. I am going to quickly grab a thing to show you. Oh, my stomach is so upset. Alright, so the dates on this aren't exact. This was a placeholder. This was a placeholder that we made, me and my manager, for a schedule, so it's not a guarantee, but this is going to be the relative plan. Is Subathon is going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of each week, and then Monday and or Wednesday is going to be where we do YouTube ASMR streams going forward. This is going to be our permanent schedule. Even when we're out of Subathon, it'll just be specific times with specific games being planned that day. I will be offline Tuesday as per usual, with Wednesday being the day where I do a bunch of editing. So this is what you can expect tomorrow. Excuse me. Tomorrow, instead of being the Subathon start though, we're going to be doing our final re-show of the concert. The Oshi Overdrive concert. Tomorrow will be the re-showing of it, probably around 8 p.m. CDT, so that way everyone has a better chance of being able to make it. And that's going to be here on this YouTube. I'm probably going to do it as a premiere, so that way people can stream their perspectives of it, and give everyone a chance to do that. So hopefully I'll see you guys here on YouTube for that. I might get some of the girls together and we'll do like a react style stream to it on Twitch. So keep in mind that there may be some fun stuff tomorrow, and then Friday at 6 p.m. CDT is when the subathon is going to start. Every sub, every dollar, and every set like 100 biddies will raise the timer. There will be no way to lower the timer until it gets to a point where I'm like, holy crap guys, I need the subathon to end, which wouldn't be until like my birthday at the absolute earliest, which is in August. So 4 months from now at absolute earliest would we do something like that. There's going to be a lot of high scale goals this time around. It's all going to be project stuff, so concerts, unique events, pop-ups, right? We have some new potential cool things that we can do, since I'm at the center of a VTuber tea company now, and I am with a very strong team of creators that are able to make a lot of stuff in-house, that it's no longer a matter of finding people that are willing to let us do this, it's a matter of finding the way to do it ourselves. So this subathon's going to be all about making some really cool shit happen, and it'll all be stuff that you guys will get over the next year. So that's the plan, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Okay?